Hello everyone, I'm Stephen Rebe and welcome to this, the first episode in our series looking at Beijing park life. Today is December the 21st, the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, which is actually a very significant day for the place we're going to start our series by visiting, the Temple of Heaven in the capital south. It's got an area of 2.7 square kilometers, which makes it much bigger than the Forbidden City to the north of here. By any standards, it's a remarkable place. So come on, let's go. Instead of a single building as it sounds, the Temple of Heaven is actually a complex of buildings and their surrounding grounds used by the Ming and Qing emperors, 22 of them, to worship heaven. As the emperors saw it, they were the sons of heaven. It was therefore of the utmost importance that they show respect for the source of their authority. So 600 years ago, they built this place for making sacrifices to heaven. Behind me, you can see, is the Hall of Prayer for Good Harvests, the most famous building in the Temple of Heaven, often used by international media as the symbol of Beijing. As the emperors saw it, if they worshipped heaven correctly, they would be rewarded with good harvests, an abundance of food, contentment and peace throughout the realm. But if they showed disrespect for heaven, perhaps by making a mistake in one of the lengthy and elaborate rituals that they conducted here, well, that might be followed by a bad harvest, hunger, discontent, rebellion, perhaps even the fall of the dynasty. This is the altar on which the sacrifices were actually made. Twice a year, the emperor would come with his very large retinue and set up camp in the Temple of Heaven to make those sacrifices. One of those two times was the winter solstice, called Dongzhi in Chinese, which of course is the day of the year after which the days start getting longer and warmth, light and life return to the land. Interestingly, in Western culture, our Christmas comes from the Roman feast marking the winter solstice called Saturnalia, so you could say we're celebrating the same thing. 6 years after the Chinese monarchy was abolished in 1918, Tiantan, the Temple of Heaven, was opened to the public as a park. As you can imagine, today it's bitterly cold, but that doesn't stop it being at the center of a very rich community life. Every day, old folks from the surrounding area come here to socialize, to exercise, to take part in group activities, whatever the weather. Today we are meeting a group of local people in the park. Their eye-catching uniforms make them stand out from the crowd. They got to know each other while exercising in parks in Beijing and finally settled down as a team. With an average age of over 60, their energy is quite remarkable. Their exercise routines are like a combination of yoga and gymnastics. Interestingly, they've created their own signature postures, which have made them well known in the park. This man with the grey hair is the team leader. He's over 68 years old and his name is Wang Jixi. Let's hear his story.
我们组建了有5年了，就是有时间大家有时间礼拜天啊、礼拜六啊，到那个各个公园去锻炼，对，让大家看一看，愿意锻炼的和我们一起参加到我们这个团队，一起互相学习，哎。
Some of them can even climb to the top of an exercise frame and do a handstand. Wow, look at that, it's incredible. 很高兴，这样锻炼身体有什么好处？
不感冒
啊
没有小毛病没有，
啊
这好多年了就没生过小毛病，
啊
哎
啊，所以你
开心娱乐。
所以你从什么时候开始这样做？
我坚持15年了，
啊，15年你以前你已经退休了吗？
还上班呢，
还是上班？
业余时间锻炼。
你做什么工作？
单位司机。
啊，司机北京人吗？
我山东人。
山东人你在北京多久？
我在北京18年了。
你最拿手的那个技能你是什么？
我拿手的
脚尖倒挂，脚尖还倒挂一个，让他表演一个。
哇，危险吗？看上去很比较危险的。
他老那么做，
对，
来给我这。
哇，那么厉害！
看我们70岁的老大姐。我看你做的那么好，你很美丽，做的那么美丽。你今年呢多大？
今年53岁。
哇，那么我原以为你已经有那个30几岁，你看的这么好看所以我想知道你为什么那个穿了同样的衣服？你是一家队吗？瑜伽队吗？
我们这是有一个天坛团队，然后带着我们一起来练习，平常也上班，就礼拜六、礼拜天呢，就一起跟他们一块儿活动，就以锻炼、以健康为目的。对，这个是我们叫阿姨姐，为什么呢？她岁数76，我们是74岁，对，70多岁了，所以我们又叫阿姨呢，又觉得她很年轻，心态很年轻，能带到我们一起练，所以我们就把后面叫了一个姐，叫阿姨姐。心态特别好，
比我还强壮，
是特别强壮，
我自己不能做，
他比我们都厉害，所以带着我们一起练。
你退休了吗？
退休了。
你以前做什么工作？
以前是护士。
护士在这个医院工作
我们有出去上天津，和那个天津的团队一起才一起互动。互相学习在天津。
北京市举行那个冬奥运会，你有什么看法？
就全民健身一起来加油嘛，然后去遵循他们的就健康
那个职业运动员的那种拼搏向上的那种
精神，
经常更高更快更强。
对，就说这个发展体育运动吧，甭管什么，对于我们健身的方面有好处的方面，我们强，老百姓强。
你看看咱们天坛健身，天坛那个公园那个老年人有多少啊？都是健身的。
我们锻炼身体就为了奥运会，喝彩，加油！
Well, I think we've seen some quite remarkable things here today from senior citizens who don't seem to be bothered by the sub-freezing temperatures in the slightest. Join me next time when we'll be looking at another activity that's part of park life in Beijing.